Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. There's a lot happening in the cryptocurrency space right now, so let's jump right into it. A few days after the Litecoin Foundation's community manager Ilir Gashi asked everybody to keep their expectations in check with respect to the foundation's work on Litecoin's fungibility and privacy features, it would seem that the foundation is nonetheless surging ahead. This was communicated by Charlie Lee on Twitter. Lee, who is the creator of Litecoin, the silver to Bitcoin's gold, had keenly announced last week that he will be pursuing fungibility and privacy solutions for the cryptocurrency. This announcement was met by a lot of fanfare, especially by many who welcomed Charlie Lee's promise to add confidential transaction features to Litecoin. However, this enthusiasm had mellowed somewhat when Gashi had clarified that nothing was set in stone and that all possible solutions for fungibility were still being investigated. However, Charlie Lee's latest tweet suggests that the Litecoin Foundation is moving ahead with the confidential transactions feature that he had initially advertised. Furthermore, Lee also tweeted that his development team was exploring bulletproof MimbleWimble with extension blocks to resolve the fungibility issue, a solution that can be implemented via a soft fork. Here's the actual tweet for it, and there's 9 3/4, and then they go on to talk about exactly MimbleWimble, Voldemort, what have you, so on and so forth. I still am cautiously bullish on Litecoin. I think this will set Litecoin apart from many other coins if they actually end up doing this. And the fact that we know we've had clarification from Charlie Lee many times that any type of upgrade to the system can be implemented through a soft fork, and it doesn't have to be a hard fork, so it can be something that kind of goes through relatively easily without having an entire fiasco that we've had with many other hard forks before in the past. It's a bit simpler. Let's hope that this actually ends up happening. I think I would like a bit if they actually did implement MimbleWimble onto this. I maybe just the sound of it or the newness of MimbleWimble, that could be kind of interesting. But it's nice to see, once again, that Charlie Lee is actually taking care of his project, if I can kind of say that. Anyway, he said that sometime throughout 2019, it's going to have one of these confidential transaction protocols on top of it. I think even logically, you could have multiple on top of it to increase like the privacy behind all these coins and stuff like that. So it would be nice if we actually do end up having multiple, but even if we have just one during 2019, hopefully by the summertime, we have some type of a clarification if there's going to be a soft fork or not. I think that would be very good news for the price of Litecoin, especially if we get it around the time when the reward gets cut in half. That would be even better. But yeah, let's move on. Bitmain is in the news. It says if you followed cryptos in 2018, you surely have read or heard the name Bitmain. The Chinese unicorn was the largest crypto mining rig manufacturer back then and was the star of the market. The peak of the company happened during the first half of 2018 when the two mining pools of the company, BTC.com and Ant Pool, had an incredible share of 42% of the market. It was actually believed that they controlled around like 60%, but we could verify that they controlled BTC and Ant Pool, so this is why we give them the benefit of the doubt and give them the 42% number. Those were the days for Bitmain, and despite the company claiming that it was safe, a lot of people were concerned that a 51% attack had happened. It was a natural fear, of course, since the company had such a large share of the market of the most important crypto. Why not? Bitmain and the crypto market have since changed a lot since then. The bear market showed its claws, I hate that phrase, and businesses started to get difficult at the same time that miners stopped to buy new rigs, which affected Bitmain. The company has faced a public challenge while trying to be approved by the Hong Kong Stock Exchange and making their own IPO, which has also fallen apart. Now, as reported by the Block Crypto, Bitmain seems to be facing its hardest challenge to survive in the winter of the direst bear market. BTC.com and Antpool, the two largest mining pools owned by Bitmain, are now down to only, air quotes, 26% of the hash power share of Bitcoin. 26%, they still control 1/4 of the entirety of the Bitcoin hash power, so you can't really say only 26%. The point is we're seeing a very big shift And I mean, honestly shocked at this because Bitmain, they were the mining company around the world. There were a lot of fears about a 51% attack. Like I said, people had figured out, or rather had assumed, that they probably controlled a bit more. Like when you are as big as Bitmain was, you typically don't only control 2 mining pools. You probably have your foot in the door of multiple other ones as well. And this is why everyone was sure that they controlled over 51%. There were many articles about this in 2018 as well. However, we give them the 42 number. They were extremely large, but this is just another company. I mean, that's not to say that they won't bounce back. The moment that the prices start going back up, the mining industry will flourish once again. However, it's interesting to see how quickly a cryptocurrency company can fall from grace because of mismanagement of funds. Sorry. Because along the way, they announced that they were going to try and have an initial public offering to be listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Like a couple days after, the people from the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, they were like, yeah, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. They may have seen the cracks before everyone else could. They had the layoffs in Israel. They had the layoffs in Amsterdam was another one of them. And I think there were also like 2 other ones. And they also shut down the entirety of their Bitcoin Cash mining operation. And then there were announcements that they may start selling off all their Litecoin and all their Bitcoin Cash to be able to recuperate funds for their investors who they had already lost money for. So a lot of stuff is happening behind the scenes. Very fascinating to see exactly how you assume that a bear market only affects you and maybe 1 or 2 other people around you, and you don't really get how much money has been thrown into this market, and then you kind of also don't really get, and this is why, I mean, if nothing else, take this bear market as a lesson, and I mean like a 13, 14-month lesson. Prices will not and do not go up forever. There's always a pump up for a couple of months, and then there's always a slam back down. This is just how markets work. We see the same exact thing with the traditional stock market, except that theirs are a bit more elongated. They have like months in between, or rather years in between, before this actually ends up happening. And crypto happens after like a couple of months. Anyway, the point is, I assume that they will continue moving lower in their hash rate because they have to keep turning off computers and what have you as the prices continue to go down. They're not making any money, and they are still a relatively large organization, corporation, something. I can't even think of the word anymore. I just woke up a couple minutes ago. I know I said that phrase as an excuse, but it's like the best excuse ever. Like I really did just wake up, so haven't even had breakfast yet. So just waking up, no food. I have a little bit of leeway there. Anyway, the point is, let us move on. Next up, according to a post from the official MyEtherWallet's Twitter account, reports suggest that users of the popular Ethereum network interface have been targeted by a phishing email. The fraudulent correspondence requests users give up personal information that could put their crypto holdings at risk of theft. The email details a supposed security breach that occurred during a couple days ago in January. Affected users are requested to sign into their wallet using the private key or seed phrase, and in doing so are handed over this highly sensitive information to the attackers. In a tweet from earlier the other day, the team behind the MyEtherWallet, or the MEW wallet, Ethereum blockchain interface program, alerted users to a phishing email that attempts to trick people into disclosing their private keys. The tweet contains a screenshot of the email itself. It states that the MyEtherWallet fell victim to a DNS attack during the January of this year. According to the fraudulent email, only MEW users accessing their wallets using either their private keys or seed phrases were impacted by the attack. Without reading too much further, because it kind of continues going on, it kind of goes in a loop. I hope this has not happened to you. If you have received, and I mean, just an overall, like a blanket conversation. This doesn't even have to just do with a MyEtherWallet. It has to do with every single wallet. Other wallets aren't impervious to things like this happening to them. If you receive an email, if someone contacts you from a company or somewhere else, 99.9% of the time it is probably fraudulent or fake or a phishing scam. So if anyone says, hey, give me your information, your thing has been compromised, I can help you with this. If you know that your account has not been compromised, report them, delete their email, actually contact the actual people who create these wallets or these websites or these cryptocurrency exchanges and say, hey, this is happening. Send them a screenshot of exactly what you received so that they can know exactly if that email is going to try and contact other people. I've seen a tremendous amount of scams. I'm pretty sure you've seen them because I've definitely seen them in my comment section, and they drive me crazy because I can't get rid of them. There's like no actual way to do it. People who are posting, and I'm pretty sure you've seen them, they're like, my life has been so much better since I was contacted by Mr. Jameson last week. He allowed me to make 7 Bitcoin in one day. And then you see like the other like fake accounts beneath it talking about, yeah, he also helped me and I'm also rich now. There's no way for me to get rid of them. I wish that I could. I tried blocking some of the the spam accounts because they're all bots, obviously. The point is, there are a lot of ways that people are trying to get your money. Try to remain vigilant. Try to remember, I guess, what I'm talking about and what other people are talking about. Like, this is why I always say do your own research. It's not just as far as like what crypto you put your money into. This is also something you should be researching on a daily basis. But also just the fact that you have to know where you have your money, because it is fairly simple for these people to send you something saying that something is wrong, and then you give them your information. Like, I'm pretty sure you should have all seen the documentaries years and years ago where these people were, what's the word? They were talking to these old ladies who were alone in their homes, and they were like, oh yeah, miss, something happened to your bank account. Can you please give us your account information and your password and your so-and-so and so? And scared and alone, they had no idea what they were doing, so they gave up all this information, and then these women end up on these documentaries talking about how they lost $500,000. Don't let that happen to you. Keep your private keys private. That's why they're called private keys. Anyway, let us move on. Next up, this one's actually quite interesting as well. On a positive note, or move, the San Francisco-based partner of Singapore-based cryptocurrency exchange known as Huobi announced on Tuesday that it is launching the trading of fiat crypto trading services with initial support for 3 USD crypto trading pairs, according to a report by Cointelegraph. After rebranding the rebranding exercise, the domain name of Huobi.com is being used by HBUS. HBUS entered into an strategic, my gosh, who writes these? Into a strategic partnership with Huobi Global in June, and this latest move is aimed at bringing the Huobi brand to the U.S. by rebranding its initial trading platform to Huobi. As per Cointelegraph's report, this latest move by Huobi to expand beyond crypto to crypto transactions comes after reports of other exchanges which are rolling out support for normal fiat currencies. One thing that I find really ridiculous about the cryptocurrency space is that people don't do things until someone else does them. Like, who was it wasn't Coinbase. I can't remember exactly. There's just so many random weird names floating around in the cryptocurrency space. Someone announces that they're launching fiat pairings, and like 8 weeks later, everyone else is like, now we also have fiat pairings. And it's like, you didn't think anytime in 2018 to announce fiat. This isn't me attacking Huobi, but it's like, this is what frustrates me about the cryptocurrency space. I think everyone is so busy. Like, people go on stage talking about how like they're the leaders and we're going to win, and this is like, we are going to do so and so, but no one does anything until someone else does something. Like, this is why I was talking, but whatever. I'll continue reading. I'm not going to get frustrated in this video. Private users as well as institutional clients can now directly transfer cryptocurrencies to and from Falcon wallets, as well as convert them into fiat money. According to the press release, Huobi.com has launched USD, that's US dollar, trading pairs with major cryptocurrencies Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether, as well as support of US dollar deposits and withdrawals. So it's great that they did this. For the life of me, I can't imagine why they added Tether. As if Tether hasn't been like probably the most controversial stablecoin that we've had in the existence of life. I don't know why they did that. Good for them that they did the same normal 2 coins that they've been doing forever. Even like a little dash of a Litecoin. I would have even accepted like a Bitcoin Cash. And an Ethereum Classic would have also been nice. It says somewhere here that they plan on rolling out more coins. It also says somewhere around here that they're also thinking about launching their own stablecoin. Why? So this is good news. Yay, this is fantastic. It's nice to hear that they have added US dollar trading pairs that they probably should have done in 2018 before everyone else did, so they would have had more people on their platform. And it's also nice to hear that they've added 2 coins that are always there. They could have made an announcement and said we've added 2 crypto, and you would have known exactly which coins they added. I think the whole news should be is that they added Tether to US dollar trading pairs, which I mean is great. But we are no longer in 2016. We have more coins than just Bitcoin and Ethereum, so they have helped to increase the liquidity of the cryptocurrency space. I won't give a but at the end of that. So very good, Huobi. I just hope you aren't waiting for another crypto exchange to do something so that you can make the first move. Let's move on. Coinbase is in the news. Major United States crypto exchange and wallet provider known as Coinbase is launching support for European Union residents to make fiat currency. There's a fly around my head and it's driving me crazy. Fiat currency withdrawals to online payment system known as PayPal. The development was announced in an official blog post yesterday. As reported, Coinbase has first rolled out PayPal withdrawal support for US users last month. Amazing! The European extension of the service will reportedly apply to both European Union residents and those living in the European Free Trade Association countries, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland. Coinbase had previously integrated support for PayPal back in summer 2016, but terminated the service within several weeks due to technical difficulties. Until today's newly released service, EU and European Free Trade Association country residents had exclusively relied on SEPA wire transfers to withdraw their fiat funds, while those in the United Kingdom also had access to the country's Faster Payments Scheme, or the FPS, which has been operational with Coinbase since March of 2018. As reported, CoinDesk is looking to diversify its crypto support. Sure. Trying to say something nice. Yay for PayPal. It's nice that people can withdraw something that they had in 2016, but their systems couldn't handle it, and now we have it once again. That's absolutely fantastic. This is nice. This is great. I would prefer, especially since Coinbase, my goodness, like since the beginning of December, they announced that they were going to add more coins. We're now February. I feel like somewhere along the way they could have splashed a couple of names our way. This is nice that, it does help the moving in and out situation. A lot of people have been having trouble with this. I had a couple of friends who were using, past tense, Coinbase, and they couldn't take their money out quick enough, or it took a long time for deposits. It's very ironic, and I think this is kind of the funniest part of all of this, is that in order to, you have to use an old banking system in order to be able to put your money quickly into Coinbase. I feel like from the get-go, or at least from the 2016-15 era, there should have been a system in place where you could even just give them money through PayPal, so that they kind of transferred it a lot quicker. Because raise your hands if you remember when PayPal had that situation where it would take a week to send them money. It's a bit quicker now. That's fantastic. So good job, Coinbase, on your launching something that should have been launched before. Everyone, if you are a Coinbase employee, please let your overlord know that we are waiting on other coins, not just ERC20 tokens, because every other exchange is kind of going quicker than you. But good job on the PayPal integration. To kind of breeze over this one, I'm not going to read through it. Weiss Ratings has released a new statement, article, something, where they a new report where they talk about pretty much that Tron and EOS are kind of dominating over Ethereum. But there's like a tug of war happening between EOS or EOS and Tron at the moment, with the both of them pretty much having so many betting or dice apps that they're literally going back and forth as to who holds the crown for the most betting platforms on their platform. Like I said, I'm going to breeze over this one. Kind of interesting. I mean, it's no surprise that EOS and even Tron are passing by Ethereum because of the transactions per second. But I think it's Weiss Ratings and also the Chinese government who like highly favor EOS at the moment. It's kind of interesting. We'll see exactly where this goes. If you all have a chance, side note, to listen to the podcast. First of all, thank you everyone out there. There was like 4 people who mentioned to me that this had changed names. The name of the podcast is Everything EOS. This is if you are into EOS. I am. It's it used to be called ICO Alert, and they changed it to Everything EOS. It's fantastic. It's just these two guys who are in the industry. I think one of them is the head of a block producer, and they pretty much talk about all the updates, all the apps, all the dApps, all the websites, everything that's being built on top of it. And some of the stuff that they talk about, it shows fairly clearly that EOS is going to be a major token for a very long time. A lot of the games and stuff being built on top of it, the names behind it, the new interfaces that are coming out, the new like social networking platforms that I desperately hope will end up taking over Facebook's place. Anyway, the point is this is happening. Ethereum is, I don't know, just Ethereum at the moment. Anyway, to kind of finish things off, the crypto market is in a very weird place right now. For some reason, Binance Coin has surged. I have not found any exact information as to why there was such a dramatic push up in price. It has actually made it. Binance Coin is now in the top 10. It has pushed past Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's Vision, which should have never even been in the top 20. My personal opinion. For some reason, the market is. I don't like the word tanking, but the market is going down. Everything is in the red right now. Some are redder than others. But for some reason, Binance Coin is like hyper resilient in this market. I haven't been able to really figure out why, especially like even like the sometimes the 24-hour volume on the Binance Coin is just like remarkable. I guess it has to do with a lot of the Binance team integrating it into like almost every aspect that they're doing. I can only imagine how crazy it's going to get when they actually announce or launch their decentralized exchange. And also, like I mentioned before, there are other cryptocurrency platforms who are also listing Binance Coin. It's just a really weird world that we live in. So everything at the moment is going down, except for like the stable coins, which are kind of like little bit in the green. But I guess that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening. Wherever you are, wherever you might be. Just the market. I wish I could actually give you more information. I'm seeing a lot more articles floating around that I don't have in the videos where people are talking about. They would not be surprised if we see an $1,800 Bitcoin, and apparently Ethereum is hanging by the skin of its teeth, because if we end up hitting a $100 Ethereum, people believe that the price of Ethereum will kind of crumble into itself, because $100 is a very strong support level. But as always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Vlad the Impaler, Gil Boa Snake, Rai, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Arthur Yaku, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Nick Mangialavori, Travis Haynes, Gordon Nikic, and Yasha Harari. Thank you all very much for your generosity. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.